The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. This is supposedly from Aristotle, but where we are right now is on a video from Basketball Explained, who talks about the WNBA and the new contract that they have. Because I saw that too, and I wanted to speak on it. And a big part of the reason why I do speak on the WNBA as much as I do is because they themselves have come out and said that they are a ideological, agenda-driven league. They have absolutely no interest in monetary profiting, which should be the biggest red flag that anyone has ever seen or has ever come across. Because when a company or a business is saying how it's not, it has absolutely no interest in profit and it's there to push an ideology, then be warned. You have been very fairly warned. And so, particularly as I watch a lot of the Kobe and his daughter photos and how I can tell and how he dealt with his daughter, he really poorly wanted a son. Unfortunately, fellas, if you end up with girls, with nothing but girls, I mean, raise them as if they're female. At least, that's the best that I can try and tell you, because you push your son aspirations for a son onto your daughters, and you see where we're at. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this new contract that the WNBA has been, gifted. Even though they're gonna, if you ask them, oh yeah, we earned this, duh.
What's going on, guys? So in today's video, we'll be looking at some of the...
Okay, yeah, what's up, man? Wow, sis. Wow. Might as well put Dwight Howard in a dress. I hope that's not mean. I hope that, it's just very frank. That's a very masculine, female right there. And the lady sitting right next to her, the Caucasian lady sitting right next to her, is the new WNBA commissioner, who looks exactly like Kathleen Kennedy from Star Wars infamy. Okay. And her name's Kathy, which is really, what's up with soccer mom Kathy being in these positions of power, complaining how there are no women in positions of power? What world? We live in the craziest timeline.
Surrounding the press release made by the WNBA that the league and its players have agreed on a new CBA after having their worst season in history.
There have been 50 other leagues that have come and gone since the WNBA premiered way back in the day. The fact that I think it was David Silver, or is his name Adam Silver? I think it's Adam Silver. He came out and was like, "No, we're always gonna hold out the WNBA. We need that league. For what? For what exactly?"
Now, the 2019 WNBA season, in many people's eyes, was supposed to be the season where the WNBA players would be able to prove to the league that they were more than justified in asking for a higher percentage of the league's revenue.
What revenue, though? You make no bread. Oh, wait, that multi-million-dollar gift from the NBA. And then, and something else I wanted to point out is, remember earlier, well, not earlier in 2020, but late 2019, the James Harden, LeBron James, China incident where, oh man, we love China, everything about China. Why you think that has just all gone bye-bye? Because that's where they're getting the bread to keep this type of circus going. All right? Make no mistake, this is a circus.
Preparing for such a season, the WNBA earlier this year rebranded its logo, appointed Kathy Engelbert as the new commissioner.
I'm telling you, she looks just like Kathleen Kennedy. Okay, soccer moms named Kathy. All right, cool.
And had its star players featured on many national and international commercials. Furthermore, many of the NBA stars were also in attendance at WNBA games to show support.
Oh, but the Minnesota Lynx went at Luka Doncic for not coming to the games, which was complete nonsense. Hey, they go there. It's a part of that brand. They probably get a few stacks to just go and, hey, pretend like you're loving this shit. Go and act like, yeah, this is the most exciting thing that you've ever witnessed. It's not, damn it. It really isn't. But they pretend as if this is, the exciting, oh my goodness, this fundamentals basketball, and this is just as good as the men. No, we're not the same thing. We're not equals, and that's okay. It's actually perfect because we're supposed to work together, right? But yeah, this is just another example of the welfare state, if we want to be real about it.
But despite these efforts, the WNBA All-Star Game was down 30% in ratings and 28% in viewership from last year, with just 508,000 people watching.
Pretty sure you get better numbers on a Pro Bowl.
Making it the third smallest audience ever for a WNBA All-Star Game. The WNBA playoffs were also down 24% from last year to an average of just 257,000 viewers, and viewership for the WNBA Finals also declined 21% from last year, making it the least watched WNBA Finals since 2013.
And you gotta remember that also goes into so you got 228,000 boxes on you, but that also includes the bars and the clubs and the gyms and the spots where I'm pretty sure wherever they were having WNBA championship watch parties and the like. So and their numbers are still that low. But no, this is not a league. This is a movement. This is we gonna get the hold on, wait, I don't want to get tagged for hate speech. Mathematical lifestyle out into the world, because girls, you're the exact same thing as boys, and it's just like, no.
And while the WNBA's regular season viewership numbers were up 7% from last year's numbers on ESPN2, one important thing to note is that this only took into account the games that would broadcast on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. Which is misleading since these three networks only aired a combined 16 WNBA games this season. The other 99 televised games were on CBS, NBA TV, and Twitter.
One of my favorite memes ever is, hey, you see $15 on the ground, or you see a pair of WNBA tickets. Which one you picking up? Which one has more value? Because it's just, I'm sorry, it's not a good brand of basketball. First and foremost, they scoff because they want to be like the men. You know what? Here's the thing, and I can guarantee this. I'm willing to. I really wish I was like in these circles and I was able to help make these decisions, because I would put if you put the exact same type of marketing behind something like the lingerie league, that little football league where those ladies, they running around all cakey and looking just scrum-diddly-umptious. And so if you were to put the same type of backing behind something like that for 5 years, it would become profitable. The same type of the same type of marketing you given the WNBA, if you gave that to something like the lingerie league, it would turn $1. Why? Because it's females. Yeah, they play in a sport, but they're also embrace that they are females. They embrace their femininity. When the WNBA has been approached about lowering the rims and stuff, because we could play like the dudes. You're not the dudes though. So how about walking into the arena, into the space that is more congruent with what makes you different, instead of trying to be like the men's game.
But because there are no viewership numbers available from these three networks, then getting a true grasp on the WNBA's rating and viewership numbers for the regular season isn't truly possible. Now, as it relates to the WNBA's attendance, there are a couple of points that must be made. One being that the WNBA's attendance average of 6,535 for the 2019 season was the worst in its history, surpassing last year's average of 6,769, which was also an all-time low. The second point to make about the WNBA's attendance is that it's much lower than even these numbers indicate.
I mean, you see how dark it is around, and there's also hella open seats. It's just not that. It's not that big of a draw. It really isn't.
especially when teams like the Las Vegas Aces have their average slightly exaggerated, considering the fact that the Raiders bought 1,600 tickets this past season and gave them out for free to youth organizations in Las Vegas. The Aces also had 2-for-1 ticket specials during the regular season, along with attend 3 games and get into the 4th game for free. The Indiana Fever, on the other hand, were not only giving away free tickets to kids age 5 and under,
which is just all types of nonsense. I really wanted to stop on this particular promotion because, oh yeah, like a 5-year-old can drive themselves to the to the arena to watch the game. This is just a straight hustle in order to try to get the adults to buy adult price tickets. That come on, Indiana Fever. That's just ridiculous.
But they were also giving away 2 complimentary tickets to those who spent $75 or more at Kroger. Even a single fan was able to boost the attendance average of the Phoenix Mercury this season by purchasing the entire 7,000-seat upper level in hopes of selling out the arena for their home opener.
Jesus, that's crazy. One guy is like, yo, like, you know, I'm like, and I gotta respect it, man. Like, hey, if that's what you choose to do with your money, by all means, but it's no different than the girls over on Twitch or on the internet that just sit there and, you know, jiggle a little bit and make a few coins, man. And they sit there and try to talk about male privilege. Yeah, my goodness. Cut it out, ladies.
Meanwhile, the LA Sparks had a buy one, get one free special this season, and the Seattle Storm automatically gave 2 free tickets to anyone who donated blood through Bloodworks Northwest, as did the Dallas Wings through Cater Blood Care. Now, these examples are only to show that as low as the attendance numbers have been for the WNBA, they are still above what they should be. In fact, the attendance for the WNBA has continued to decline so much so that Ice Cube's Big 3 League had a higher attendance average than the WNBA this season.
And that's crazy. That's really crazy. Didn't the Big 3 send some dudes back into the league? Like their Big 3 play? I can't tell. I think I remember seeing an article where some of the guys from that league are actually back in the league this season because they watched them play, which is actually really dope, man. I don't know about Ice Cube's Big 3 League. I haven't been really attached to sports as much as I was in the past, primarily because of other priorities that have come up. But yeah, good on Ice Cube for this league. And from what I hear, it's actually going really well.
This low attendance across the league is the reason why many teams have downsized their venues, such as the Atlanta Dream, who will be playing at Gateway Center Arena next season, which seats 3,500, as opposed to State Farm Arena, which seats 21,000.
Or the New York Liberty, who had to move from Madison Square Garden to Nassau Coliseum. I think it's Nassau Coliseum. Or one of the, or maybe it's a county gym at this point. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody got really upset with me because they're at that time. I had a friend who was, you know, they were like just convinced that the WNBA was something worth a damn. And I was explaining to them how, you know, like I was explaining to them basically everything that he's saying in this video. And it was just nothing but anger and being pissed off. And eventually, you know, blocked and all that other stuff because some people just can't handle facts. And it's sad. It really is.
Lack of interest for the WNBA as a league has also reflected itself in the little fanfare during the championship parades that many WNBA teams have had, such as the Seattle Storm, whose championship parades in 2010 and 2018 paled in comparison to that of the Seattle.
Damn! Yo! Like that is like for a professional sports league to have, like, you know, your fan base just come up, so the local area in which you represent just be so indifferent to your championship. Oh man, you win a chip in your league, you win the chip, you take the crown, you got it. We are the champions of the world. No one cares.
Seahawks in 2014. The Minnesota Lynx also had very little fanfare as they went through downtown Minnesota to celebrate their championships in 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2017.
Honestly, Ilhan Omar, man, you got to get your people out there, particularly, the women, right? Oh my goodness, women! The women are better than men at everything. When it's not a competition, it never should be. It never should have been deaded.
Then there are teams who didn't have parades simply because they couldn't afford it, and or because the city was not willing to pay for the cost, especially when the turnout wouldn't justify it. Which is why the 2016 LA Sparks had a championship rally outside of Staples Center that was made to look much bigger than it actually was. The 2014 Phoenix Mercury had their championship rally inside of Talking Stick Resort Arena, which was less than a quarter full, while the 2019 Washington Mystics championship...
Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you get when your league isn't really pushed by, interest and fans and, revenue and profit. When you're an agenda-driven league, this is what your shit look like. All right, this is what, you're champion. Oh, yeah, you're a champion. Oh, yeah, whatever. Because you're an agenda-driven league. And you said it out loud. And you refuse to embrace what makes men and women different. Your gender agenda has just... This is sad. It really is. And I actually feel a little bad. I might be laughing and making jokes, but I'm someone who believes, hey, the opportunity should be there without doubt, without question. But if the interest isn't, particularly in an entire sports league, and you've come out and said, oh yeah, well, we have an agenda. We must make this work. We must make this continue. Come on, man. Like, the cat's out the bag. You gotta throw the whole damn thing away at that point and just start over.
Raleigh at the entertainment and sports arena attracted very little fanfare. Now, as it pertains to the WNBA's finances, or lack thereof, which was a point of emphasis for many of the WNBA players, it's important to note that at no point during or after the negotiations did the WNBPA tweet or make a statement denying what Adam Silver and Mark Statham had stated months ago in regards to the WNBA sustaining losses each and every year, which included a $12 million loss in 2018.
But what he's not going to mention is how Adam Silver also said we're not going to let the WNBA fail. We'll do whatever is necessary to keep this thing going. Because for what reason other than agenda, we got to keep it out there. Boys and girls are the exact same thing. Doesn't matter. That's why they have them playing they got these intramural AAU leagues that are like mixed gender and the like bruh, like cut it out.
This is especially important because it was WNBPA Vice President Shania Gumake who went live.
Hold on, isn't that the same chick that was clowned all over the internet because of her weave one time? Don't get twisted, she's actually a pretty dope looking chick, but that weave is just... all you do is wonder what's going on underneath there.
On ESPN to state that those numbers were not quote-unquote full or complete. And if that is true, then why has she still not given any proof to substantiate this assertion? Especially when Mark Tatum has repeatedly stated that the WNBPA has always had full access to the financial numbers. Well, the truth of the matter is that the WNBA has never been profitable, and the WNBPA have known that for years. They're just hoping that things will get better, even though the evidence over the past 2 decades has shown that things will continue to get worse.
Because this is agenda. See all those, we're all having a great time and smiling and all this other stuff as we push this agenda that's not profitable at all, but, we can really destroy America this way by confusing people into thinking that, it's a choice as to whether or not you're a boy or a girl. What the hell is wrong with this world, man?
And contrary to what they would like the public to believe, marketing has never been an issue. Because the WNBA as a league has been featured in films, and its players have been in movies, commercials, and on primetime television. Some of them are even commentators and analysts for both ESPN and NBA TV. WNBA games over the years have also been featured on networks such as NBC, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2.
And they all eventually end up going away, because if the NBA isn't offering them more money than they could make via the advertising, then they'll just go with the advertising. And that really gets lost on a lot of people. See, here's the thing, particularly when it comes to the quote unquote fairer sex, right? There's a lot of people who don't understand logistics, and that, it takes more than just wanting something for it to happen. There's a lot of other factors that go into play, and it's very easy to miss things in your blind spot, and things that you might particularly not be looking for. And if you're not looking for a profit or revenue, then why would you bother? So yeah, this is nonsense. Let's go a little bit further, and then we're going to call it a video.
Furthermore, there's been a bigger and more concerted effort this year to bring more awareness to the WNBA by way of Twitter, where the WNBA now streams many of its games.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, because guess what? It's not just the WNBA that's low on ratings. The NFL ratings have been slumping as well, and a large part of that is because there's so many different ways to see the games and check out the highlights. It's a big part of the reason ESPN has been going through the identity crisis that it's been going through, is because there's so many different options out there now, not just for the time, but for not just for people's attention, but for the ways in which to see the things that you want to see. So, yeah, I think we're going to call this one a video. I think we've been going on long enough. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you think in the comments? They called this a long time ago. They said, hey, we are an agenda-driven league. Adam Silver said we will not let the WNBA fail. This is about, I'm gonna rhyme in order to not be accused of hate speech here, but the mathematical community, I guess, really wanting to have their venue, have their space to say, yeah, this is weird. Come on, boys, girls, exact same thing, no different. And it's just not. It's just not. And once again, I'm willing to guarantee that if you put half of the resources and effort into promoting the lingerie league as you put in promoting the WNBA, man, that league would be on fire. Okay, that league would be too real. But either ways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, and until the next one.